Well, hi there. This is Dr. Dell again, and I wanted to actually now give you an example where we would use the generalized Pythagorean theorem to find the area of a triangle. And so let's just make one up here together. Let's suppose this side here was 12.2, and this side here is a little bit shorter. Let's say that's 9.4. And let's see, I'm not sure what to make this. So we're going to make up the problem. So I want 12.2 squared plus 9.4 squared equals, take the square root. So if this was a right angle, this would be 15.4. So I'm making up a problem. So I want this to be less than a right angle the way I've drawn it. So I'm going to make this 13 point, say 6. Okay. Now, I've made up the problem, so you've got a little behind the scene view of how that is done. And now I want to calculate the area of this triangle. And I can actually use either two sides that I want to. I'm going to use the generalized Pythagorean theorem the way I taught you in the previous video, just to show you how this is done and how a student in the foundation course learns to do it. After you've done about anywhere from 5 to 10 of these problems, it gets very easy, because really a formula just generates a process. Now, if you forget the formula for the generalized Pythagorean theorem, or the so-called law of cosines, you can go back to the previous video or look it up in the book, however you want to do it. So here's the way we would do that. And I'll do this first one pretty slowly. I'll pick out two sides, and I'll just take these two kind of at random, arbitrarily. And I'm going to take 12.2, and I'm going to square it. And I'm going to add that to 13.6 squared. And I'm going to subtract the opposite side, 9.4 squared. And I'm going to hit equals. And then I'm going to divide that by 2 equals, divide that by 13.6 equals, divide that by 12.2 equals. And now I get the cosine of this angle. And this will have to be a number between -1 and +1. Indeed it is. And so I take the inverse cosine of that, and that's actually this angle right here, 42.3. Might just write it down for the heck of it. Don't really need to know that or remember it. Then I want to take the sine of that angle and multiply that times the first side, 12.2, times the second side, 13.6, times 0.5 equals, and I get 55.83 is the area, square units. Whatever these units of length were, this will be square units. And that's assuming I did not make a mistake. And of course, that's not a particularly good assumption to ever make, because we make lots and lots of mistakes in mathematics, as you know. And so you always want to check your work. And it's always nice to check it in a different way if you can, so that you're not likely then to make the same mistake. So I'm going to do this problem now a second way and see if I get the same answer. And if I do, I'm pretty sure that it's the right thing. So I'll take these two sides here. It doesn't matter which two sides you use, but instead of using these two, I use these two. And so now I'm going to do the problem again. I'm going to clear the calculator. And this time I'm not going to say what I'm doing. I'm just going to do it the way a student would do it if they were doing it on a quiz or their homework. And let's see how long it takes to do that. Let's see, I'm marking the time now. Okay. 9.4 squared plus 13.6 squared minus 12.2 squared equals, divide by 2 equals, divide by 13.6 equals, divide by 9.4 equals inverse cosine sine times 13.6 times 9.4 times 0.5 equals 55.83, and so that was the right answer the first time. And in fact, it took me just about 45 seconds to do that. So I say you can do this in less than a minute if you once you've learned the technique and you're practiced at it. Now, I would certainly invite you to do a lot of problems like this. The one that I posed you in the class, I believe, in my general thing is 3, 4, 5. And so we'll just do that one real quickly here. I'll just take 3 and, I'm sorry, it was 3, 4, 6 is the one that I give in general. And so we'll just take 3 and 6 and work with that. So I'm going to clear the calculator. Take 3 squared plus 6 squared minus 4 squared equals, divide by 3 equals, divide by 6 equals, divide by 2 equals, take the inverse cosine, take the sine, times, what was I using here? 3 times 6 times 0.5, and the answer is 5.33, which I've told you in the past. Now, when we looked it up on Wolfram Alpha, it gave that same answer, but it gave it in this form, 455 square root divided by 4, which of course turns out to be 5.33. 455, take the square root, divide by 4, and there's 5.33. And I wondered where that came from and how Wolfram Alpha did it, and I will discuss that with you on the next video because it's really part of how we teach students and what we do. So I think you'll find the next video very interesting as another way to solve this problem. So this is Dr. Dell. I'll see you on the next video. Bye-bye.